Your favorite car brand is in trouble. The badge on your hood might still carry weight, but behind the scenes, your system is breaking down. Chinese competitors are moving faster. Customers are walking away. Time to market is slower than ever. And the worst part? These brands saw this coming years ago. They just didn't act fast enough. This isn't about styling horsepower or badge loyalty. It's about a deep structural failure that has put traditional automakers at serious risk. You've seen the headlines. Nissan pulling back in the US market, Volkswagen cutting over 35,000 jobs by 2030. Long-trusted companies are now trimming operations, delaying launches, and losing customers to new players with no legacy and fewer restrictions. But this isn't just a short-term market dip. This is what failure to change looks like in real time. Subscribe now if you care about where the auto industry is headed. We break it down weekly. Real data, no fluff, no spin. Know what's coming next before your car company does. Let's start with what everyone in the industry already knows. Time to market for traditional automakers is a disaster. Building a new car still takes 4 to 5 years. That includes design, prototyping, tooling, regulation, testing, marketing, logistics, and global distribution. Compare that to Chinese EV startups. Many of them are pushing new models out in under 20 months. In that same span, legacy brands are still figuring out their drivetrain options and arguing over interior trim. And that delay is killing them. Meanwhile, consumer expectations have flipped. Software-led design, function-first cabins, and fast feature rollouts are non-negotiable. If your car doesn't feel like an app on wheels, the younger market doesn't care. If it takes 5 years to show up, you're too late. Traditional manufacturers tried to adapt. They've hired software teams, built digital twins, opened innovation labs, but the thinking is still the same. Change a little, not everything. That's the mistake. Legacy companies are tangled up in outdated procedures. Every change has to go through dozens of checkpoints, legal teams, union talks, cost approvals, brand alignment reviews. It's slow and expensive. Most of these brands have been around 80 to 100 years. They've built systems designed to manage combustion engines and production lines that don't change often. But in 2025, that model doesn't work anymore. Software and electronics are now core to the vehicle, and these companies are still trying to bolt that on after the fact. This isn't a problem that can be fixed with a new model. It's a complete system problem. Nissan is a prime example. After years of internal issues, declining margins, and weakened production lines, Nissan is now caught in the middle of a tariff war. Cars built in Mexico are now facing 25% import duties in the US. That's hitting 2 of their most important models. US orders were paused, dealers were left scrambling, and buyers are switching to other brands. This should have been a small bump, but because Nissan is already operating on thin margins and long delays, this kind of shift hits hard. If your business can't take a single external hit without reshuffling product launches, it's not built right. Volkswagen avoided shutting down factories in Germany, but the price was high. Over 35,000 jobs will be gone by 2030. The company says this will help save them 15 billion euros and stay competitive in a market that's leaning towards smaller, leaner Chinese companies. But the problem goes deeper than jobs. VW is struggling to pivot to a software-first company. Their early EV efforts ran into software delays, glitches, and inconsistent user experiences. Their modular EV platform was supposed to power dozens of new cars. Instead, it's delayed timelines and eaten up resources. This is what happens when you try to force new thinking into old systems. BYD, NIO, XPeng, and a dozen more are building vehicles designed from day one to be electrical, digital first, and software-led. They aren't retrofitting combustion-era processes. They're starting fresh. Take BYD's Yangwang U9, a self-driving hypercar that can leap over water and road spikes using its hydraulic suspension. It's not a gimmick. It's a demo of what happens when you prioritize systems integration from day one. These brands are faster, more agile, and built for rapid product cycles. They sacrifice some traditional refinements, but every month they're getting better and cheaper. Ask a Gen Z buyer if they care about a badge. Most won't. They care about features, convenience, tech that works. They want voice assistants, integrated social media, and over-the-air updates. They want a car that feels like a device. Lexus is still here, refilming its champagne glass ad to show off ride quality. Chinese startups are showing cars doing synchronized choreography and remote-controlled parking via smartphone. That's what grabs attention now. Old marketing strategies don't resonate anymore. Brand loyalty doesn't survive when the competition is better, faster, and cheaper. Traditional OEMs used to dominate on engineering quality, precision fit and finish, paint quality, longevity. That stuff still matters, but it's not enough. If your car takes 5 years to show up and doesn't feel modern when it does, the market moves on. Tech-led entrants are experimenting fast. They're updating their interfaces monthly, changing battery chemistries yearly, launching new models twice as fast. They're using AI and virtual reality to integrate systems across global teams in real time, while legacy companies are still signing off on budgets, locking in 5-year plans. The tech is ready, the mindset is not. Legacy players have the tools: AI for design iteration, VR for prototyping, advanced supply chain data, automated testing, real-time digital twin, but they're using these tools like patches. One for design, one for testing, another for marketing. The new players build everything around these tools. The whole process is integrated. That's why they're faster. That's why they're winning. The problem isn't lack of access to tech. It's that the system using it is broken. Traditional car brands need to stop cherry-picking improvements. No more isolated digital projects. No more pilot programs with no follow-through. They need full operating model rewrites. That means faster decision-making, flattened hierarchies, software and hardware working in sync, clear product goals tied to shorter timelines, and most importantly, a willingness to let go of outdated rules. They'll have to break out of the old silos, move away from over-designed approval loops, shift the culture from prove it's perfect to ship it and improve it. It won't be easy. There will be union issues, layoffs, pushback from legacy departments, regulatory delays, and financial pressures from markets that aren't patient. But the alternative is failure. Quiet, slow failure. The kind that looks like falling margins, lost buyers, and shrinking production. Automakers are trying to improve. They're hitting friction. Adding sensors, cameras, radar, and ECUs is easy on paper. Integrating them into a functional system that are reliable, secure, and easy to update, that's the hard part. Most traditional automakers still rely on Tier 1 suppliers for core production. That means they're not in full control of their product experience. When a software bug shows up, they have to chase vendors. When a new feature is needed, it takes months of coordination. This dependence slows everything down. Startups build most of their stack in-house or partner closely with tech firms that move fast. Until legacy companies take ownership of more of their tech stack, they'll always be left behind. Here's the bottom line. It currently takes 4 to 5 years for most established brands to bring a new car to market. If that car isn't significantly better than something from BYD, NIO, or Xpeng, which launched in half the time and costs 30% less, the product will flop. Most executives know this, but knowing isn't the same as doing. Change has to be real. Not a vision document, not a keynote, not a LinkedIn post. Real operational change with new targets, new structures, and new expectations. Companies that don't move now won't have another chance. Your favorite car brand is failing, not because it doesn't care or doesn't see the problem, but because it hasn't built itself to deal with it. There's still a path forward, but it's short, and it's shrinking every month. Subscribe to this channel for more on the shifts happening in the auto industry. The winners are moving fast. The rest are falling behind. Don't let your next car come from a company that's already given up. Let's start the discussion in the comments, and I will see you in the next episode.